Hello and welcome to our presentation for the launch of the Grand Theft Auto V franchise. I'll begin by giving a brief summary of the original property and then move into the reasons for picking the franchise and translating it to other mediums such as graphic novels and merchandise. The franchise is based on the Grand Theft Auto V action-adventure video game, which is based in the fictional city of Los Santos. It's a third-person game based on three characters: Franklin, Michael, and Trevor. Franklin is a street hustler looking for opportunities and some money. Michael is a professional ex-con whose retirement isn't what he thought it would be. And Trevor is a violent maniac who is driven by the chance of his next high and his next big score. The reasons why this franchise was chosen to be adapted across a scripted movie and other mediums such as graphic novels and merchandise is that the storyline of the game already has a strong narrative, so it's easily adapted to other mediums and that broadens the brand and the franchise. Another huge factor in adapting it to other medias is its success as a video game and its brand recognition. So it's sold over 70 million copies and is the fourth highest selling video game of all time. So we decided to piggyback off this already large following of the game. So by introducing other medias under the same name, this would already have interest from the established fan base, as well as attract a new audience that aren't typically gamers. So we're talking about the film audience as well as fans of comic books that aren't already following the game. Once we picked the Grand Theft Auto franchise, the decision had to be made about which game we would launch from. The obvious answer for us was to pick the latest installment of the Grand Theft Auto franchise, not only as mentioned before because it was the fourth highest selling video game of all time and it has a popular following, but also because of the storyline it contained. The three main characters allowed us to broaden the franchise and even focus on one character at a time, perhaps even creating a series of novels for each character on their own and creating kind of an origin story sort of comic book. Another decision that we had to make was whether or not to include the violence and sexism of the original game, as this was a big point with the game release and it was pulled from shelves. Although we chose to stay true to the game, we mainly focused on the main storyline and missions. So rather than the side missions or free play that contained most of that sexism and violence, we chose to stick to the original storyline. By doing this, we chose not to alienate a section of the audience, such as women, and this helps broaden our audience without offending the audience or creating controversy in the launch. We also had to decide what forms of media that we would expand this franchise to. We found it obvious to move to graphic novels as the storyline of the game was strong, as well as mentioned previously that there were three characters, so we could expand that into three different versions of the graphic novel. The merchandise aspect was agreed upon because of the gaming aspect. So many games, merchandise, figurines, as well as figurines of their characters. And because of this, we chose that merchandising fact of toys, action figures, and because of automotive things within the game, as the game is Grand Theft Auto, we chose to have some car figurines as well. So you got the car models and things like that for the auto fans. So that's it from me. I'll now pass on to my colleague Bart. Thank you.